What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. What I got for you guys in this was I'm going to be showing you guys the best Vaznev class setup in Modern Warfare 2 or in Warzone 2, depending on whichever mode you want to play. This one works well for both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you guys the class setup, all the tuning and everything you need to know about it. And then after that, I'll talk a little bit more about the stats and why I think it's a slept-on weapon. So anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. All right, let's jump into the class setup. So what I have for this is I'm going to be using the FSS Oli V laser. This is the one that I use pretty much in every single class setup, especially when you're playing multiplayer. You could probably take this one off if you don't want to use this one in Warzone, but I would recommend it, especially if you're using an SMG. It might be a good secondary, so that we have something quick. But yeah, it has ADS speeds, aiming stability, sprint to fire speed, makes it really fast. The next thing that we have is the Bruin pendulum muzzle, and for this is for the recoil control. As you see right here, recoil is through the roof on our stats. Now for the tuning, we have it at 0.62 towards recoil stabilization, and then the gun kick control is at 0.29. Now I know you see the handling, it's non-existent, but when you look at the stats right here, when we put everything together, even the handling is gonna go up as well. So the next thing that we got is the 45 round mag. I don't like reloading as often. I do lose a lot of gunfights while I'm in the middle reloading, so I prefer not to reload. So the next thing that we got is the Demo X2 grip. This one gives you really good recoil control, but trade-off is the aiming stability. And then we got it towards aim down sight at 0.35, and then we got the sprint to fire speed at 0.09. And then the last thing that we have is the stock. This one is for the aim walking speed and the sprint speed, and this one is set to ADS at minus 2.97, and then the aim idle stability is at 1.63. So this is pretty much the tuning and class setup that I'm running with. Now I'm going to give you guys the stats, the base weapon stats, so that way if there's something you want to adjust, if there's something that fits your playstyle a little bit better than these attachments and tuning that I have right here, you'll be able to do that without really messing up the weapon. Because as you know, you can't just slap on a bunch of attachments and think the gun will be better. There's some attachments that'll actually make the gun worse if paired with other ones. So anyways, let's go on. Let's talk about the base stats. So the first thing is the ADS speed. So if you don't mind the ADS speed, you don't have to speed it up. I do. I speed it up because I'm playing maps like Shipment, and that's basically what I'm more focused towards, is just aiming down fast, shooting people as quick as possible. But if you're playing something like Warzone where you don't need to aim as fast, or you're only focused on one person, or you're holding a corner where you're already scoped in, you don't need to add the laser that I put in, the FSS Oli laser. You don't need to add that in. You can replace that with some sort of an optic or something else, because the base stat of this weapon has 180 milliseconds aim-in time, while every other SMG in this category is over 200. So this is by far the fastest ADS speed SMG in the game that we have as of right now. So with this already being a really good perk for this, you don't have to work on this. You can use all of these attachments to boost something else. For example, in my case, I work towards fixing the recoil, because with SMGs, they tend to have higher recoil when you use them from long range. And if I want to use this thing in Warzone, I'm probably going to end up fighting some people from long range. So I want to make sure I don't have as much recoil. So I work towards that. Now, for one of its flaws is the reloading speed. So with the tactical reload, that means you still have bullets in it. When you're reloading, that takes you 2.77 seconds. If you're doing a full reload when you have no bullets in it, that's going to take you 3.38. So this is the second slowest in the SMG category, so it does take you a second to get that reload off, and it really doesn't have that many bullets. The mag size is at 30, which is the lowest, or the second lowest, followed by the MX9 at 25. So being at 30, and just, you really will need to reload often with this thing. So in my case, I put the 45 round mag, so you wouldn't have to worry about the reload speed as often. Now let's talk about one flaw before we talk about the next perk. So the next flaw that this has is the movement speed. It's at 88%, so you're not able to move at maximum capabilities. Other SMGs are at 90 and 95. I mean, we even have the Fennec all the way up there at 99%. So it's really just like a slower SMG, feels more like an AR at some points. So you will move a little bit slower than when you're carrying some of the other SMGs, but the trade-off is the damage. So if you notice from the gameplay, this thing does some serious damage. Unlike other SMGs, you don't have to put as many bullets. So first, it only takes 3 bullets, which is the lowest in the SMG category. I mean, there's some other SMGs, but 3 is the lowest out of all SMGs. So 3 bullets to kill, and then it does 47 damage to the head, 34 to the upper body, 34 to the lower body, and then 31 to the legs. And that is around like the third highest. So there's one that's at 48, and then there's a weapon at 49. So it still does a lot of damage right there. And one of the best things about this weapon is the time to kill. So it is at 149 milliseconds, while most of the other ones are at like the 160s, 170s type of area. So it is definitely at the lowest. There's only one other SMG lower, and that is the Lockman sub at 146. So it's barely beating it by only 3. So this is a very, very strong weapon, very fast to kill, and it's really good. So even the rounds per minute doesn't have the fastest fire rate, but the fire rate is not that slow, especially for the damage. So it does have a pretty decent fire rate over at 806 rounds per minute. So don't really have to worry about that too much. But these are all the base stats, and then everything that you add into attachments and things like that will just pretty much be a cherry on top. If you put the right attachments and the right tuning, you'll just make it even more powerful. So this is a very slept on weapon. I definitely do believe that this might be one of the next metas, and honestly, it's a really good secondary that you could put on in Warzone. So for example, if you put on something long range like the RPK or one of those meta weapons in the primary like the Tag V, and then for the secondary you could put that on, and that will really help you clear out rooms, buildings, things like that. Close quarter combat, this thing will shred. It'll do a lot of damage, and it'll help you out a lot. But that's all that I got for you guys in today's video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what other weapons you guys want to see next here on the channel. But yeah, that's all that I got for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been your boy Triz, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys later.